Welcome back. In this tutorial we are going to cover how to print each document to PDF file and then save it in the correct Dropbox folder that we assign you and share with you. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to need in order to get started with printing to PDF is the right program to do that. If you have one already, if you already use Adobe Print and you can save files such as spec sheets and market research, if you already have a program for that, you can skip the next few minutes because we are going to show you what file to use for that, and we're going to do that now. So the first thing that I would suggest do is go to google.com and in the address go ahead and put Find Print PDF Factory free download. Click search, and the one that I've used is this one here, PDF Factory Pro in Softonic. I'm sure there's others. PDF Factory for me is the easiest one to use that I found. So once you do that, the website is going to have the download. I've already clicked on that to download the file, and once that happens, as you start to download and the file saves, and then you click to start the I guess the export of it, or the but anyway, so the download process. From here, what I would suggest clicking is the custom. When you come to this section, go ahead and click custom and then uncheck the download and install PC speed maximizer. If you go and download through this website, they are trying to add malware, which is just additional things that you really don't need. So I would go ahead and uncheck that to where it's not included. And from here, another thing that I would click, I would uncheck that. Set and keep default search.net as my default search provider. I think we just do that and then click next. And from here it's going to go ahead and start to download to your computer so that you can have the PDF Print Factory, and that is the program you're going to need if you don't already have one. So that's what we're doing right now. This is just going through the process to download it. I actually don't have this because I have paid for Adobe, so I paid a lot of money monthly to have the right programs that I need. You don't need all of that. You just need this. From here, your language, and accept the terms. Yes, keep that checked. Install. And now we have successfully installed. So what we're going to do is pull an example listing spec sheet and print it off. And so then you can probably just close that and close that. And now that we have installed that, we can close this. I'm going to be sharing a Dropbox folder with you to complete each assignment. You can see here's all of the team members that I have working with us currently, and you are one of those. So here's your file, our assistant. This file we will be sharing with you. Let's go ahead and click on that. And you can see the first folder at the top, Assistant Daily Working Folder. This is the folder that both you and I will be using daily to pass information back and forth. So let's go ahead and click on that. The first folder, Market Research, this is absorption and net sheets. We are going to teach in a future tutorial on what an absorption sheet and what a net sheet is. You'll understand that here soon enough. But the market research, this is going to be a large majority of the daily shares that we do together. If you click on that, what I've done here is created an example file so that you can see how it needs to be labeled. Each time that you create a new file on a particular property to start the folder for me, here's the way that you're going to save it. And you can see if you scroll on it, example is what the file is, meaning is it market research, is it an absorption sheet, or is it a net sheet? So you would probably put one of those three things here: market research, net sheet, absorption sheet. And then you can see that we have the hyphen, street number, and name. So we need the street number and name. So if it's 112 Bales, 112 BALES, and then we have another hyphen, owner last name. So if it's John Doe, you're going to put Doe right there, or you can put John Doe, and today's date. So then you put the current date at the end of it. And once you do that, inside of that is going to be the files that we're going to print. So let's go ahead and do that now that we have the PDF factory. And let's use an example here for 112 Water's Edge. And let's say that I am needing you to print off 112 Water's Edge for me. So you would enter the address, click search, click on the most recent, and we know that because it is the largest number. Again, from a previous tutorial, you can click MLS number. The largest one is going to be the newest, the most recent listing. Go ahead and click on the MLS number there, and we have the spec sheet. A lot of times I'm going to ask you to print this for me. Not only do I want this spec sheet, I also want you to click on the picture, and you can see all of the other pictures. I want you to print that page off for me as well. And before you had PDF Factory, if you even had just a PDF print program, from what I've seen anyways, I had to print off one sheet and save that sheet every time I printed a new sheet. So if I were to print this, I had to save it separately, and then the photos I had to save separately. The reason that we have PDF Factory now is so that you can combine those all on one file, so that I can easily open one file and be able to look at all of the market research and not have to open a bunch of separate files. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's print. You can see over to the right at the top, you would click on the print. That will print the spec sheet for us. And you can see here it says Adobe PDF. For you, it may say your printer that's at your home. We are going to change that now. Here we go, PDF Factory Pro. If you do have a print to PDF program that can combine the files and it doesn't have stuff at the bottom, I think PDF Factory, the free version, is going to have stuff at the bottom of each page. So if I'm printing off and showing research to people, to clients, it's going to have that on there. I would rather it be blank than having that, but if all that you can do is PDF Factory Pro, that's okay. So now that we've selected the destination for PDF Factory Pro, we are going to make sure that it's portrait, because for the spec sheets they are going to be lengthwise, and just do all pages and go ahead and click print. We're going to go through a full example with this as to how exactly to save this. You would cancel out. Yeah, you can see here. So since we haven't paid for it, just cancel out. We're going to get the free version. I'll show you what the free version does. The only thing that I don't like about the free version is this. You can see printed with PDF Factory Pro trial version. All of that, whenever I print off these pages later, it's going to have that at the bottom of each one. When that becomes too much of an issue with me, I'll let you know, and then we'll go ahead and get a different file set, program set for you. So for now, you would want to you could do a couple of things. You can save it, and you can still print to this. As long as this is open, you can keep printing other sheets. So for the sake of this, let's go ahead and save it so that we can create a file. And to do that, you want to open the Dropbox folder. So you're going to have to download Dropbox to your computer, and I'll probably create a tutorial on that for you if you don't already have it. So the folder that we would have shared with you would be the team members and our assistant. And then where you would save it would be in the assistant daily working folder, market research folder. And then the month, I want to make sure that it's the correct month for easy access for me to go back to files that you've previously pulled. I need at least the month. So we are now in April. And how you would save this file is you would put the past spec sheet. Now spec just means the specific sheet. That's what this is that we're saving. So past spec sheet, and then the street number, which this one was 112, street name, Waters Edge, and then the owner last name, which was, I think, Ginger, and then you would put today's date. So we'll have, and actually you don't have to put a hyphen there if you want to, that's fine, but 4/14/14, I think it's the 15th, but for this example the 14th. And what you would do is you would also create a new file here. So for April, you would actually be creating a new file a lot of the time anyways. If you already have created one, that's okay as well. What we would do with this is just the street, since we have nothing on this created just yet, but we're going to be putting other documents in one for the sake of consistency and keeping things organized. We're going to have the street and the client file, which is what this would be for us to share. So Waters Edge and hyphen and Ginger. So we would actually put this market research in this folder that you've just created, and go ahead and save that. Now since we've left this open still, we can print and add other things to this and then just save it to that file, which is what we're going to do. So let's say that I also want you to pull, which I will on every one, I want the past spec sheet, and then I'm going to want the pictures on it because I want to see the condition of it the last time that it was listed. So with this, go to print page and make sure that PDF Factory Pro is selected. So here's what I want you to look for on this, on the pictures. We have 2 pages, we have 3 pages, and you see how the last page, it really isn't anything important. It's it looks like a bedroom and a bathroom. I mean, basic stuff. If you have a page that comes out and it's not full of pictures, it only has a couple on there and they're just random looking rooms, go ahead and take that off. So when you print that, it's just less stuff for me to have to look at. I would just say print pages 1 and 2 on this one. Take that 3rd page out and then click print, and you're going to see what happens here. It should anyways. Yeah, so we have now put the pictures on the same file with Waters Edge. As long as you save this, you're going to have all of that on one. So see, we can save it, and we can just go ahead and click on that again and click save. Yeah, we do want to replace that file because we just added that to it. And so the next thing that we're going to need when creating a packet, first thing is the past spec sheet, and this is for the market research, just to go ahead and learn this. We've covered quite a bit in this tutorial, but so you've printed off the spec sheet, the last spec sheet of it, you've printed off the pictures that's on it. The last thing that you're going to print for this section is the tax record, and remember, we can go to the tax ID here. You can also go up here to the tax and CRS, and then you would of course use the county that this property's in, which would be Sumner, and then the street address. Click search. You can bring it up that way. Here's the other way, is just simply click here. And once this comes up, you would then print it. You don't want to save it because we want to keep it all on one file. So then from there you would just go, you could do any of these really. I would say standard is what I would go. Go with the top one. And again, when you're printing stuff to PDF, make sure that you see with this one, I'll just get you to print all of them for now, but I know that I don't need this last page, so it's really a waste of paper if I print this off. But we're going to go ahead and just print all here. So let's print all. We're at PDF Factory Pro again. And now we should have this come up. And then we're going to save this, and then we'll open it up so I can show you what we've just created. So you can see that we have all three items that we've printed off to PDF. Now we just simply save them to the file that we've created, past spec sheet. Then from there, really, I would suggest to rename the file as to what all is included with it. So past spec sheet, I would put past spec, and tax record. And I would just do that. Well, saying it's too long, so we'll just do spec sheet for this example. But the main idea is to keep everything consistent as far as labeling what it is, to where I can know, okay, it's a spec sheet for market research, or a net sheet, or an absorption sheet. So that way it makes it easy for everybody to know what the file is. So let's go ahead and save that. We do want to replace it because we've added these files. And let's close out here and open that up. And we will close out of here because we don't need it. And let's go open that file up and take a look at it. Recent places, 112 Water's Edge. Here's the file you created. You created that folder. And the past spec sheet, and you can see that we can actually make that. So then we click to open the PDF, and here's what we have created. And I may have a future tutorial to cover how to label each page with bookmarks so that we know what each one is. That's really a neat tool to add, and we may do that down the road. So here's what we've created. We have that. We have the picture files that you saved. We have the tax record sheet that you saved. And that's everything. So that's what you just created. That's how to do the print to PDF tutorial. And we will be going to another tutorial next.